Hello everyone, I am back with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. Thank you for staying connected with me. If you have not visited my website yet, please do so. It is tausifanam.net. And after you go to my website, you can also sign up for my e-newsletter. Now let me begin today's episode by saying that I think it's going to be a short episode. I just have a few updates that I want to share with you, and the updates pertain to the race for the White House. I'm going to be talking about the presidential race, and I will share with you some quick updates that I learned about. First of all, on the Republican side, a GOP presidential candidate has just announced that he is dropping out of the race. Who is this candidate? This is Larry Elder. Larry Elder was running for the office of the president, but he dropped out of the presidential race. And if you remember, there were two GOP presidential debates that took place not too long ago. One was in Wisconsin. It took place in Milwaukee, and Wisconsin is where I live. So I have talked about it before. And the other debate took place in California. And if you have watched those debates, then you know that Larry Elder was not on the debate stage. He was not on the debate stage in Wisconsin. He was not on the debate stage in California. But he was still running. He was still a candidate for the office of the president, but he just announced that he has dropped out of the race. Now, as he dropped out of the race, he did make one endorsement. Who did Larry Elder endorse? Larry Elder endorsed former President Donald Trump. So Trump has received Larry Elder's endorsement in the race for the White House. Now let us talk about what's happening on the Democratic side. President Joe Biden has a new primary challenger. And who is this challenger, you may be wondering. Now, if you have not seen the news reports yet, let me tell you, my friends, this new primary challenger on the Democratic side is Congressman Dean Phillips. He is a congressman from Minnesota, and he is running against Joe Biden for the office of the president. Now, based on the reports that I saw, I can see that Dean Phillips is a businessman. He's a multimillionaire businessman, based on the reports that I've read. And he reportedly said that it is healthy to have alternatives. Congressman Phillips said it's healthy to have alternatives. So I think what Congressman Phillips is trying to do is he's trying to provide Democrat voters with options. He also said that this election is about the future. So I think by saying that, he's trying to highlight the age difference between him and incumbent President Joe Biden. Now, Congressman Phillips is, I believe he's 54 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I've read in a report he's 54 years old. And obviously, President Joe Biden is much, much older than the 54-year-old member of Congress. And so I think what Dean Phillips is trying to do is he's trying to run as a representative of the younger generation. Now, when I say younger generation, he is definitely not in his 30s, he's not in his 40s, but being in his 50s, he's still much, much younger than President Joe Biden. So this huge age gap between Joe Biden, who is, I think he's 80 years old, and Congressman Dean Phillips, I think that's what he's trying to highlight by saying that this election is about the future. And I think he's trying to make the case that the Democrat voters should choose someone younger for someone younger as the Democrat nominee for president. Now, let's not forget that author Marianne Williamson is also running as a Democrat, so she is also in the race for the White House, and it's going to be very interesting. We are just a little over a year away from the November 2024 election. This is almost the end of October 2023, so we're just a little over a year away from the election, and I think the next 12 months are just going to be very exciting, interesting, and obviously at the end of the day, the voters get to decide who they are going to pick. The Democrat voters will decide who the Democrat presidential nominee will be. The Republican voters will decide who the Republican presidential nominee will be. And then the American voters together, they'll decide who the president will be in November 2024. When the voters go to the polls, they are going to make their voices heard, and they will make the decision, and they will elect a president. So it'll be interesting to pay attention to everything that's going to happen between now and November 2024. There's obviously a lot of excitement in the political world. Now, we still don't know who the presidential nominee from the GOP side will be. Obviously, we're still months away from finding out who the nominee will be on the GOP side. But we do know that Donald Trump is the front runner. But at the same time, there are some high-profile GOP candidates who are running for president. Now, who will the voters feel confident about? Who are they going to pick? On the GOP side, who are they going to pick as the nominee? Is it going to be Donald Trump? Is it going to be Ron DeSantis? Is it going to be Tim Scott? Is it going to be Nikki Haley or Vivek Ramaswamy or Mike Pence or Doug Burgum? I don't know. I think we just have to wait to find out. And as we go forward, there will be lots of updates, and I will be sharing with you some updates, and obviously I'll let you know my thoughts on all these important developments that are taking place in the political arena. My friends, at this point I'm going to ask you to share your thoughts with me. You can go to my website, tausifanam.net. You can send me a message. You can also find me on social media. You can send me an email at tausif@tausifanam.net. And thank you for staying connected with me. I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.